All right, today we're diving into one of the most intense and, frankly, shocking stories in the entire book of Genesis. It's this raw, brutal account of family honor, a deep betrayal, and a revenge so extreme it literally wipes a whole city off the map.
And the whole thing really boils down to one powerful question. What is the price of honor? I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this, because the answer this story gives, well, it's written in blood.
So let's set the scene. You know how these tragedies always start, right? With a single moment, a single decision. And this one kicks off with a violation that is going to light the fuse on some unbelievable violence.
At the center of this are two key people. First, you have Dinah, who's the daughter of the patriarch Jacob. The text says she goes out to see the daughters of the land, just to, check things out. And that's when she crosses paths with a guy named Shechem, a local prince, son of a ruler named Hamor.
And this is the moment it all goes wrong. The text is just brutal and direct about it. Shechem, the prince, assaults Dinah. This one act of violence is the spark that's about to ignite an absolute firestorm.
But right after this, the story takes this really strange, complicated turn. The text says that Shechem's soul clave unto Dinah. It's this old word that means he clung to her. He becomes completely obsessed, falls deeply in love with her, and decides he has to marry her to make things right.
So Shechem's father, Hamor, he steps in to try and clean up this mess. He goes to Jacob's family with a totally formal offer, a marriage, an alliance, a way to join their two peoples. He's trying to build a bridge here, right over this horrible act.
But while the fathers are talking peace, Dinah's brothers, they have a very, very different reaction. The text says they are just filled with grief and wrath. For them, a line has been crossed that can never be uncrossed. And that sets up the conflict. You've got this formal offer of peace smashing right up against this silent, burning desire for revenge.
And that brings us to the next part of the story, the deceptive bargain. This is where you see peaceful words being used to hide a plan that is, well, it's truly devastating. So the brothers respond to this marriage proposal with a condition. And on the surface, it seems almost reasonable, a deeply held religious belief. They say, look, if you want our peoples to join, all the men in your city have to be circumcised, just like us.
And here's where we, the readers, get the inside scoop. Publicly, Hamor is pitching this whole deal to his city as a fantastic business move. But the text tells us flat out that Dinah's brothers answered deceitfully. Their offer isn't a bridge, it's a trap.
And the crazy thing is, the pitch works. The men of the city, they hear about all the wealth they're going to get from Jacob's family, and they agree to the terms. Every single one of them undergoes circumcision, having absolutely no idea that this act is sealing their doom.
And this, of course, brings us to the absolutely horrifying climax of the story. The deception is over, and now comes the devastation. The timing here is it's so cold and calculated. The brothers don't act right away. They wait. They wait for 3 whole days, until the men of the city are sore, in pain, and at their absolute weakest, completely unable to fight back. And that's when 2 of Dinah's full brothers, Simeon and Levi, make their move. They grab their swords and, as the text chillingly puts it, they come upon the city boldly. The revenge is total. It's absolute. They slaughter every single male in the entire city. They make sure to kill Shechem, the man who assaulted their sister, and his father Hamor, the man who tried to make peace. And it doesn't even end with the killing. The other brothers then swarm into this now defenseless city and just plunder everything. They take all the animals, all the wealth, and most chilling of all, they capture all the women and the children. They strip the city of everything it has. So, what happens after something like this? An atrocity of this scale? Well, it brings us to our final act, this incredibly tense confrontation between the father, Jacob, and his 2 blood-soaked sons. When Jacob finds out what Simeon and Levi have done, he is furious. But you have to listen closely to why he's so angry. It's not about the morality of the massacre. No, it's about something way more practical. Just listen to his words. He's terrified of the fallout. He says his sons have made him stink among the inhabitants, basically making his family a huge target for all their powerful neighbors. He's not worried about justice. He's worried about survival. He thinks they're all going to be destroyed because of this.
But his son's response is just as powerful. It's short, it's sharp, and it's their entire defense in one rhetorical question. For them, this was never about politics or survival. It was about honor. And in their minds, they did what they had to do to restore the dignity that was stolen from their sister.
And that's the chilling note this whole story ends on. You have Jacob's practical fear on one side, and his son's absolute, unwavering defense of honor on the other. The text gives us no easy answer. It just leaves us with that deeply unsettling question. Was what they did justice, or was it just pure vengeance? And that's for you to decide.